And I think fundamentally what I always say as far as MPP is concerned, we are transforming the party to be an institution. Like President Barrow always said, we don't want a banner party. Of many, many years, most political parties, not only in Africa, in the sub-region, tend to live that life of a banner. Means the founder is out of scene, the party will crumble because the party has not been institutionalized. When we come to MPP, his philosophy and his belief that this party must hear and must outlive him, me, and anyone else in this generation. And that's the transformation that the party is doing.
Okay. What exactly does that involve? So if Barrow were to retire for whatever reason, then Demba Sabali automatically becomes the party leader?
That is not what has been spelled out in our constitution. We have a process. The Secretary General Party leader is the Secretary General Party leader. Of course, you have the national president, the first national president, the second, and the deputy national president.
Is there not a hierarchy then? Following that, if Barrow is unable to whatever.
We do not have a deputy party leader as far as the National People's Party is concerned. So when you talked about Demba Sabali, you talk about Honorable Dembo Bojan, you talk about Suku Singate, they are national presidents. They are not Secretary General and party leader.
Okay.
That's how the party is structured. So when you don't have Barrow, then you have to go to a Congress.
And then the fighting begins because you have three people, you know, on the same level.
No, it's not necessarily mean the national president or the first deputy or the second deputy have to go for the position. It could be anybody. It could be Peter Gomez, who is a card holder of the National People's Party.
Let's make very clear that I am not.
You are not, but
right.
It never. We have a lot of card holders of the National People's Party who can show interest, and it's the party members who will make that decision, not an individual. And President Barrow have always said that the party belongs to the Gambian people, and rightly the members of the National People's Party.
Why was Bundung chosen as the location for the NPP headquarters? Manka Mankunda would have been an obvious choice.
I mean, the philosophy of NPP is a people-centered political party. So we could have choose the high end, the Kairaba avenues, the Kotus, you know.
Only there's no space along Kairaba Avenue.
Of course. I mean, in Bundun too, there was no space. But people are selling their properties.
Oh.
Yes, even in Kotu here, I'm sure if I have a good bank balance, I can get a property next to you.
You can buy this premise.
So when it comes to, land, it's not an issue. It's what you have. But our philosophy is a people-centered party, where we'll be somewhere that people can get to us. You don't need to struggle to get to National People's Party's headquarters.
Well, you're very close to where I live.
Absolutely.
I mean, if I have need, for someone, at your bureau, I could easily walk.
You could easily walk, unlike many other people. So we had to choose Bundung because it's accessible with the belief.
With the fantastic new road.
I mean, the road has been there before we went in there.
Was that one of the pull factors?
Not really. Yeah. The pull factor is a people-centered political party that you don't have to struggle, and you can see people on a daily basis. You can socialize, do a lot of things with the people. I can just walk out of my office and buy, Domi mango, gerte, and that's what it is. So, like President Barrow have said recently in his speech, let's listen to the people. If you are with the people, you got to listen to them. So in Bundung, we are listening to the people. And not only those in Bundung, but everybody.
Okay, so you have your office there. Does the party leader have his office there?
Yes. He has his office. And he will be regularly coming to his office to work.
Seriously?
Yes. We have seen it.
And put aside the affairs of state?
I mean, he is the secretary general and the party leader of the party. At the same time, the president of the Republic of the Gambia. He finished work on Friday, had his lunch at State House, and decided to come to his office and administer the affairs of the National People's Party. That is important. It is important to understand President Barrow is the president of the Republic of the Gambia, that serving everybody, but again, is the secretary general and the leader of the National People's Party. So we must separate these two. That's why when he came last Friday, you have seen less security, with him, no state vehicle, chief of protocol just dropped him and went home. If it was a state function, Uncle Alaji Ceesay would have stayed.
I bet it's not, it's not this simple. Or
It was.
Chief of protocol just drops him off.
Yeah. He just came to me and said, I hand him over to you, and he's gone.
No security, nothing, I'm sure.
No, the security was, lesser security. I mean, we have our own, he's part of us. He's part of us. We keep a watch on him. So that's what it is.
Okay, so when he was there, how did you work? Did you just have to explain things to him?
That's his home. The interesting
so
part
he only walked into his office.
Yes, because from the day that that foundation was laid at Bundung, President Barrow have visited that property under construction more than anyone else, more than even me. I mean, sometimes I get embarrassed when I heard he's already there checking the work progress. So he was
so he would go there without fanfare?
Without fanfare. On a Sunday evening, he will just drop in there. So at one point, I even said to him, you are the consultant of this building. And he was definitely a consultant because he had made certain changes, he had given certain advice to the contractor.
Real estate was his,
yes,
was his playground.
So definitely he knew what was there. He can sit in State House or sit anywhere and tell you all the offices that is there. So definitely, he didn't need to ask anybody. So he walked in and went to his office.
His office is next to yours, or are you on different floors?
Yes, we are on the same floor. We are on the same floor.
How many floors?
I mean, typically, if you consider the Gambian way of saying floors, probably you'd say 3.
No, it's American and English.
Yeah.
So you choose which one. The Americans would say what? 3?
I'm on the second floor.
You're on the, so is it a 2-floor building or a 3-floor building?
In America, you will say probably a 2-floor building. In the US, you may say 3-floor building.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, America and US to you are different places?
No, I mean Britain. So yes, but it's not the building that matters, Peter. I think we need to make that clear. It's what has been done there that is the most important. We are making sure that building become an effective, a productive, building to serve the interest and the aspiration of the people of the National People's Party and the Gambia.
Rather than a banter for NPP.
It's not actually a banter bar. Yeah. Of course, we have a banter bar. We have a hall we call a banter bar, named after the late Karamo Jadama. We have a hall named after the late Kao Bari. We have a hall named after our national president, Honorable Dembo Byforce.
How many halls do you have?
We have 3 magnificent halls.
And you'll be renting these out for social gatherings and whatever?
Yes, possibly, but with NPP we have lots of programs. So we may not have a space. If you need a hall to book from us, you might have to wait for 12 months. So Peter, in fact, right as we speak, we have about 27 party workers in that building. And they are working effectively and they're on check. We have a biometric clocking system. So we are working to transform as far as the National People's Party is concerned. So it's not complacent. It's not a banter bar. You come to work, you do work. And we make sure the welfare of our staffs are given paramount importance. Every single staff will get 2 days off in a week, just like any other civil servant.
What are your days off?
I don't have a day off. I do not have a day off.
So you'll work 7 days a week?
Yes. 16 hours a day.
Poor Mrs. Ceesay.
I mean, this is what
poor Mrs. Ceesay.
That's what brought us together.
No. You were long married before you decided to become.
But Seedy, for those who know Seedy, knows that Seedy is a workaholic. Yeah, work have to be done.
Yeah, okay. Yes. All right.
And Peter, thank you so much for the coffee. But it's very nice.